It's not zoomed in on my face, just cropped in on my face. Okay. Yo, what up, Axie fam? Welcome back to another video. Let's do this. We're gonna go over the Dawn, the Mech, and the Dusk runes. Let's get into it. The first one here is Arcane Protection. Take 5% less damage per buff on this Axie, capped at 20%. You could have damage boost, heal boost. Does bubble count as a buff? I think it does. 4 buffs would cap you out at 20% less damage. Go on to the next one, Celestial Might. Deal 5% more damage per buff on this Axie, capped at 20%. Neither of these seem that good on the surface. There is another one, as you can see on screen, that kind of ties into it. Heaven's Echoes. Your allies gain 1 damage boost whenever this Axie attacks. Your allies gain 8 shield whenever this Axie uses a skill. I think this one should have been called Stand United. It has a better feel to it. Spartans, you know, that kind of like Spartan feel. This one made me realize that really any Axie can play just about any role, right? Because the base stat and speed doesn't matter. I think Dawns could be your new frontliner. They could also be your carry. So it'll be interesting to see kind of bolstering, getting like more and more difficult to kill over time as you stack up on buffs. Because you could run one with Heaven's Echo, the other one with Arcane Protection, the other one was Celestial Might, and it's all about using buffs and debuffs. Let's look at the last one. Under the Dawns, it says Holy Prayer. It says solo, which means you can only have one of those on your team. So only one Axie on your team can have that at a time. When your turn starts, remove 1 curse in your deck. Heal all teammates for 30 HP when successfully removing a curse. This seems very good. It'll be good turns 3 and onwards. This will continue to be good throughout the rest of the game after the first shuffle. What's interesting though is if your opponent's not playing any curses, this does nothing. So got to keep that in mind. If your opponent's playing triple aqua and they don't have anything that's going to give you a curse, if your opponent isn't playing any curses, Holy Prayer ends up being a dead use case. Holy Prayer, pretty dependent on the meta. Let's do Mech last. Mech is actually my favorite so far. Looking at the Dusk, there's only 4. But these are Dusk specific, so only Dusks can use these runes. So the first one, Cursed Ritual. Attacks deal 3 bonus damage per curse ability in your deck, capped at 15 damage. So this one's really cool. Your deck building gives you the benefit of this without doing anything in addition. It doesn't depend on your opponent doing anything. It doesn't depend on your draws. All you have to do is have curse abilities in your deck, such as Hotbutt, Goda, Raven, Tadpole, Buzz. You just have to have those in your deck. That's 5 already off the top of my head. So now you're already getting the 3 bonus damage per curse. So you're getting 15 bonus damage to all your attack. This is not tied specifically to non-multi-hit like some of the other runes and charms have been. So I think this will be very good on cards like Gia and Chubby. If you have a curse deck with a beast as your carry or your damage dealer, and he's using Chubby, which deals 50 damage to all enemies, now it's doing 65 damage to all enemies. Let's go to the second one, Gloomy Dice. In odd rounds, apply Hex to all enemies. In even rounds, apply Fear to all enemies for 2 turns at the start of your turn. This is a very loaded rune. Let's go to the next one. Malediction. Little like, what is his name? Akuru. The bad guy from Samurai Jack. Deal 10% more damage against debuffed enemies. Take 20% less damage from debuffed enemies. So you run a double Dusk. They're always going to be hexed or feared. These 2 together are incredibly strong, but you didn't hear that from me. Let's go to the last one. Wicked Ward. It says gain 15 shield whenever you play a curse card. That means your Buzz, you know, does damage, then it does damage to all the other Axies, and then gives them the Daze card, which could trigger your Malediction, and then you get 15 shield on top of that. That makes your Hotbutts, your Buzz, your Godas that much better. Now let's go on to Mech. Adaptive Program. Gain 10 bonus shield from card. Gain 3 damage boost whenever using a shield card. This makes Mech viable as a tank. You have cards like Timber and Mary Legion, make them that much better and make them very, very solid. If you had a mech with Beach. Moving on, let's go to the next one. This is one that the live streamers got kind of caught up on, and most of their stream was spent talking about this one. So I'm not going to talk about it too much. It says, Last Stand. When taking a fatal hit, survive with 1 HP until end of turn. Active 1 time per battle. After that, apply an irremovable heal block, so you could not save them back from the brink of death. They're at 1 HP. If your opponent uses more cards, doesn't matter. They have Last Stand active until the end of that turn. Then it would be your turn. And then you could use their cards, maybe get a KO, but you would not be able to heal them from 1 HP. So they can only go down. I think this card makes mechs pretty viable because from what we saw, the Aquas were 570, 600, 700 HP, which is nutty. And the mechs being around 300 and 400 HP would need a mechanic to combat the turn 1 kills from the Aquas. Let's go to the next one. Shield backup. This Axie's shield isn't removed when your enemy's turn ends. Gulp. Shield can absorb 50% more damage. If you have 50 shield and they hit you with a 100 damage card, you take no damage and have no shields left. So if you have 100 shields and they hit you with a 200 damage card, you take no damage to your health. This rune is exceptional. The power level on this is bananas. Let's go to my favorite one. The one my next theory crafting video will be about. Zap Armor. Deal 20% more damage if this Axie has shield. 20% is a lot, especially when you're using cards while in Fury form. So you're doing 240% damage while in Fury. Zap Armor is going to be insane if you have a mech with all beast moves, but you didn't hear that from me. This one's nuts. Anyways, what's the one that has you most excited? Leave it down in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.